So you've all been wondering what's been going on with the Toyota GT86 over here in Ireland for the last couple of years. Here is the big update. So we've just arrived to Motorsport 56, where the GT86 has been for quite a while now, but Bob has been busy getting all the fabrication done, getting everything ready for paint. All the roll cage, all the body kit is fitted, all the radium fuel cell is in, all the engine and gearbox and everything's mounted. Bob just needs me to come and sit in the car, check everything is where it needs to be, check that I'm happy with the seating position, and then we can get it over to Quinn Motorsport for paint. Bob has been waiting quite a while for me to get over here to come and sit in the car to check the seating position, so gonna jump straight into the car now. Can't wait to have a good look around it and yeah, make sure everything is where it needs to be and that we are happy. So Bob is just literally bolting the seat in now because he had it out to finish the door bars, and we are going to make sure that, yeah, first of all I fit and that we're happy with the seating position. Is everything bolted in?
Yeah, the seat's a little loose. I didn't know if you want to push it.
Oh, are you taking the
Well, the door won't open all the way.
fat man?
Holy sh**. It can kind of go in or go out, but being adjusted up and down could be problematic.
I mean, it feels very much like the S13 does, because the S13's like that. Steering wheel's off to the left.
Well, how's the seating and the steering wheel position and stuff?
Yeah, I love it. That column's so nice, isn't it? Yeah, the handbrake and the seating, the positions, can it go up or not? No, you said no, right?
The center line of the column is exactly 550 from the floor, which is same as your PS. And the top of the steering column to the back of the seat is 700, and then the bottom's 550. It's the same as the PS.
Right.
Are the pedals okay? Because the pedals are actually 100 mil closer.
Yeah, the pedals will be fine.
It's just, what about the steering wheel though?
Yeah, no, it feels like a great. It feels good. I mean, if I had the choice, like moving the steering wheel over to the right a little bit would have been lovely.
Okay, well technically we probably could tweak it a bit.
Could you? But other than that, it's been sticky handbrake looks good.
You're gonna put the shift and the relocator here.
Yeah, we'll move the. Yeah, we'll get the relocator. Okay. I'll probably get one of them. I'll probably get Quave to give us one of them tool levers. Get the shifter somewhere here nicely. So exciting day today. We have just arrived at DY Engines. And we're here to see Dave, who is Mr. DY, who builds all the really sexy engines in the UK and in Ireland, and now going into Europe as well. And it's been a discussion between me and Dave for quite some years now about when we might put a 2JZ in something. And as many of you know, we are building a Toyota GT86, and it's only right that we, with this project, went down the road of having a 2JZ. A lot of the drivers we race against in Drift Masters and other championships around the world all use 2Js, and they've had a lot of success with them. I've always been a bit of a V8 guy, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I've done it. I've bought a 2JZ off of Dave Yandel, and yeah, super excited to come down today. Come on in, let's go inside. Come on in, come and show me the engine.
Hiya, I'm Dave at DY Engine Services, and this is Baggsy's brand new 2JZ GTE. So after many years of bullying him, saying about his V8s, we finally decided that I think it's time we go for a 2J and see if we can get some better reliability and a bit more power. So what we did is we had a discussion and we decided that we would go 2J but start again and start with a brand spanking new cylinder block from Toyota. We then have it here, we take it all apart, we then put our own touch on it, we fit billet main caps, do all the machining ourselves in-house. We then also will deck plate the block, put it on the machines, make sure everything's true and as it should be. We then use CP, Carrillo pistons, Carrillo rods. We then have everything built, balanced, check everything's absolutely 100%, and then from there we then build the engines up. So on this particular one, we use a Walton exhaust manifold, which, if you know exhaust manifolds in the UK, this man makes the best manifold you can buy. We have Hypertune billet rocker covers with a Hypertune billet inlet manifold. We then have our own camshafts made for us for our own specification, and we use Ferrer valve train just so we use the best, so I know that we're not going to have a problem with it sitting on the limiter as they all do. We've done a fair few of these now and we just found that this recipe works so well. So this is exactly the same as the engine that we built for Kevin Quinn, which was at Goodwood last year. And it just goes to testament how hard he drives it and how well they last and they go. So this is number 4 of the brand new engines we've built. There is a few more of them about, but keep your eye out for this one because I think this one will be pretty special.
So how do you look after a DY2JZ?
All I can recommend is that when we get in the car, give me a shout. We'll do a run-up procedure. I'll check everything, make sure everything's tickety-boo. I'll come to the dyno with you to make sure that everything's as it should be, to be on hand for any support I possibly can give.
Okay.
And all you've got to do really is just oil change, look after it, and then every 12 months we'll have it back.
Okay.
We'll just check everything. I'll check all the tolerances, and if there's anything you can say that you're like, oh, can we just do this, or with any development we can do, then we can just follow on, work together on it, and then try and make any improvements at all that you feel would be necessary, and then we can go from there, and then we can just have smiles per miles then.
Sounds good to me. I mean, the main thing for me is, as I told you from the start, reliability, and I'm pretty sure that I'm in the right building for that, so...
I can only do what I can do, the rest is down to you, mate.
Well, if it's good enough for Kevin Quinn, it's good enough for me, so... Should we get in the van?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, mate.
Welcome.
So we just arrived here in Belfast, Northern Ireland. We have an event tomorrow at Mondello Park with Monster Energy. We've stopped at Quinn M Sport. We've got some bits we need to drop off to Kevin for the GT86, which is now here. So I've got some bits and pieces, including the engine, that I'm dropping over while we're here in Ireland. And yeah, and then tomorrow Kevin's going to join us as well. We're going to go down to Mondello, have some fun. I've got to do a bunch of passenger rides. And yeah, just going to enjoy checking out Kevin's shed, have a look round, and yeah, never been here before, so looking forward to checking it out. Alright, so we're here at Quinn M Sport in Northern Ireland. The car is now here, and as you can see behind me, Joe especially has put a huge amount of time and effort into getting the car ready for paint. He's painted it beautifully in white and black, and he's now getting busy assembling the car and getting it ready for Essen Motor Show, well, hopefully in time for Essen Motor Show for us. So we're going to have a chat with Joe in a second, and he's going to tell us all that he's been getting up to. And a huge amount of work has been done in what I would consider a very small amount of time.
Yeah, we sort of got the phone call to help out and kind of talked him into the proper engine after all that.
Well, I mean, the truth of the matter is with the engine, obviously, Dave at DY Engines has been talking to me about putting a 2JZ engine in one of my drift cars for probably 4 or 5 years. But the proof in the pudding for me was when I saw Kevin go up the hill in his S15 at Goodwood Festival Speed, and he, I think, probably bounced that car off the limiter from the start line to the finish line and then some. So for me, that was kind of the selling point of putting one of these engines in the car, and obviously the fact that Toyota are now reproducing that engine. You can literally buy as a brand new unit. Obviously previously you'd always have to buy a second-hand 2JZ engine and then rebuild it.
Starting off with the second hand was always what you always had to start with, because this was never really an option. But
which is probably another reason why we stayed with V8s for so long, because you could buy a Chevrolet engine in a box, brand new,
motor,
and you'd have a brand new motor. But I think the fact that Dave Yandle's workshop is not that far away from us back home, and we've got Quaife gearboxes, and they're only an hour from home, I feel like we've got the best chance with the best people around us to have the most reliability that we possibly can, because if you consider our engine builder to be only 3 hours away from us, our gearbox supplier only an hour from us, and then everything else you can pretty much just bolt one on if something goes wrong.
If you've ever had a problem, it's just handier to just be able to drive a few hours and get the parts for it. But I think after Kevin's last 2 cars, the reliability, it can't be beaten.
No, it really can't. And I think first and foremost, I wanted to just talk about how much time and effort's gone into the paint, because I saw the chassis when it left Bob's place, and obviously there was a huge amount of work to get the chassis ready for paint. I mean, the majority of the fabrication, I guess, as far as like roll cage and
Bob had about 90% of it done. And then
I think you did the chassis welding, like the
full stitch weld front to back. Just any wee parts we've used, like pick up over the years from the 15s and stuff, we've just added into this as much as we could. Every single joint is seam sealed to try and cut out smoke in the cabin and all. So
I'm not even sure you'd be able to tell if you had seam sealed it, because you can't really see any seam.
No, if you can see the seam sealer, it's not done right.
Obviously, since then it's just been bolting some of these really nice parts on. I see you've got the suspension and wise fab, and obviously you guys have been busy getting
piping using all the vibrant stuff and all the paperwork for Ian, and even the fittings, fuel, as much as we could. So it's all coming together.
Even the fire extinguisher from Sparco, that looks really nice, just the way it's been plumbed in, and the way the nozzles have been mounted in the firewall and stuff. I think it's a really nice job. It looks good, it looks really nice. And then obviously this week, this week's going to be about, I guess, getting all the boost hoses and the exhaust finished and all the rest of it, which Ian, I know, has been very much looking forward to getting after, because Vibrant have supplied us all the titanium stuff to make the exhaust pipe and all the way to the very back. So I know he's been excited about welding that, and I really like what you guys have done with the inside. Like, I know it sounds silly, but just like the way everything's been mounted especially with the new carbon fibre dashboard, which was made here, right, in Ireland.
It was made from a lad in the south, does it? I think Sixth Element does it.
Which I think is just a really nice, plain but stylish dashboard. It's not anything.
It's nothing fancy, or just nice plain.
But the quality of the carbon's nice as well. They like the weave.
Really good.
I think for me the dream was to always just try and keep it as simplistic as possible in here. Sometimes you can have way too much going on in the car and it can look really messy. I think the fact that we've got a really simple, plain cockpit just makes it all that more nice to look at. Like you say, less is more, and obviously the fact that the paint's really good, and just little things like the steering column and the pedal box, just everything just looks really, really nice. And the seating position is good. It's a bit tight getting through here for me, but that's up to me probably to lose a little bit of weight and work on getting in and out of the car. But I think it's just really nice. From your side, is there much left to do on the chassis, or are we pretty much just bolting parts on now?
At the point now, it's just bolting parts on. The kit is.
You've had the body kitting on already.
Everything's been like trial fitted and made sure it all is fitted and trimmed. So
exciting.
The next part of the build.
Alright, cool. So we'll have a chat with Ian in a second and just hear about him getting on with the exhaust.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground and it go off. Hit the ground and it go off. I
These are the sexy Vibrant Performance titanium pie cuts. As you can see, I've had to achieve that, an offset 90, which you wouldn't really do with a normal bit of pipe, but let me show you why. Because I need to go down there like that. Like that, didn't you go?
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's like you've done it before though.
A couple of times, done some welding in the past, but yeah, this is the big benefit with running Vibrant pie cuts. You can make crazy shapes, and that's a hell of a lot of pie cuts, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's cool.
Joe would not do that.
What?
90.
It's one off of here as well. I'm going to come off of here like that, straight bit of tube, little straight on there as well, like one pack, and then the air filter. And then titanium. It's so light that you handle it like it's going to break.
Open it all up there. Twist it.
It's such a low.
Hit the ground and go off. Run it.
You have to be very careful when cutting titanium. So we can't cross-contaminate cutting discs and sanding wheels, because it could embed normal mild steel or aluminium into the titanium, and then when we go to weld it, we'll end up with a bad weld that could crack. That's always important to not cross-contaminate.
It's my time, think it's my.
You love it.
That's love it, didn't I, Joe? Do you know what though? For half a down pipe, are your hands pretty clean? Yeah, I've got to clean it.
Okay.
That weighs like cool. That weighs less than what 190 weighs. Which is.
Did you tack that?
I'll tell you what, I am good. I'm pretty good, aren't I?
That's organism, that there.
You like that?
Yeah.
Like that, don't you? Sexy, that, isn't it? Right, listen. If I go under the car,
Yeah.
it's going to be the lowest thing. So bearing in mind,
You're gonna.
Are you not going
beat
to
it
get...
to there flat.
You're right, okay.
bearing
No.
in mind, this is quite soft. Right.
Camera's now soft as well.
Look how low that is.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're
So
saying.
we're going to have to go.
But are you going to do? Are you doing it with flat?
What?
Are you going are you going through there in oval?
We've only got round. They only do round titanium. So we're going round. That's coming out. Joe's going to plug it with just a flat plug, yeah? Because all they are is takeoffs for the oil out for the gears, right?
For the cooler.
So we can put flat blanks into the gearbox.
Okay.
Then we're going to run a 3.5 inch through here and down. Because once we're back here, we're mint.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
All I don't want to do is build an
wanna go-
exhaust the same as the PS, where as soon as you drive over a stone, the thing gets bottomed out. Straight return there. Tack all of this last bit together, put it back in the car again, make sure it's 100% right, and then that. Drill the hole for the lambda bunk, most importantly, tack that in, and then that really is ready for back purging and welding, and that is a hell of a lot of welding, but that's the downpipe done. That's probably the hardest bit of the car to do. From there out, it's just 3.5 inch. The only obstacle we've got is to get around the gearbox mount, because we're going to run it as high as we can down the transmission tunnel, because 86s haven't got a lot of ground clearance, as I said earlier. And there's pretty much straight, there's a lot of straight stuff in it, make some brackets, sold it to the car, that's it. This is the hardest bit. Once we get this in, probably be able to get some of the exhaust in tonight. Tomorrow, make up the last little bit, the back section, weld it all up tomorrow afternoon, and then Thursday do the boost doses and the intake. Pretty cool. I'm really happy with how that's come out. Off of that as well. Do you know what I mean? Basically, we wanted to run a 4-inch Vibrant HD clamp on the front of the turbo, just so that when we do the intake, we're going to run a titanium flange on this side, and then we're going to run a titanium inlet to the K&N air filter. On this side, naturally, you see it quite a lot, the way the outlet is on the turbo, to get like a nice 90-degree bend out of there. Some of the long radius bends aren't no good, so we use these cast elbows from Vibrant, and we've trimmed a little bit off of both just to try and bring this closer in to line it up with the intercooler. You just see me mark it all up there. Obviously 3-inch Vibrant HD clamp ferrule on there. We'll get that tigged together, and then that will be the in and the out on the turbo. So that is the next job. Get that tacked together, make sure that's all exactly how we want it, weld that up, make the hot side of the boost hose. While we've got the car on up in the air, Joe's going to get the diff in, the Winters quick change. That's going in now with a Sicky skid plate. Get that in, we can get a prop length then, get the prop order today. I can make the exhaust. We're also going to do the alley water pipes. So most new cars, as you know, will probably have like loads of studs and fixing points and all that stuff everywhere underneath the car for plastic under trays and all that crap. Joe has obviously gone along and cleaned the whole of the chassis. Every hole's gone, everything's been seam welded, and it is mint, every hole's blocked. But he left these ones on purpose, because this is where we're going to have two 25mm aluminium water pipes. So they're going to come along, they're going to kick up here, probably come to about here somewhere, and then we weld two Vibrant AN16 AN male fittings on. Then we're going to come up along here and probably just kick them up and at a bit of an angle that way with two male AN16 weld on, so that Joe can then run the water lines over to here where he's got the bulkhead fittings. So then that's the water from the front to the back done. We get all them tacked up today, exhaust done, prop length. Strip all of the hot side off of everything this evening or this afternoon, so that then all of the titanium, all the alley can be welded, and then we have one boost hose to do tomorrow, and then that's it. We're pretty much there. That's all the gases in and out of the engine, that's the water backwards and forwards, that's where we're at. So busy day, another busy day, probably going to be a late one for me because I've got to weld a lot of titanium today. I've got a lot of pie cuts to weld. I think 3 is the key. Yeah, just as I suspected. Just as I suspected.
It doesn't fit now with the mount on.
We would have to take the gearbox mount out to do the gearbox, to do the exhaust.
Stick that stand in there now. And
just mad to look at it, and like when you look at how it sits, and yeah, it's good at it. I like making stuff.
I mean, it's alright.
I mean, yeah, it is all right. It's not welded yet. So. Just put it in AI. Make this sexy. Just upload all the footage and just bangs out this epic video. End of day 2, I got this fully welded this evening. You see us make it yesterday, and yeah, this evening I got it fully wrapped up and welded. I'm really happy with how it come out. It was so nice to weld. I'm not even joking. This was incredible. I was a little bit nervous. I only welded titanium once before, so I was a little bit, you know, on the edge, but I am so happy, and I think it looks so cool. It is going to look so good in the GT86. We've run out of gas. We've got a bottle of gas coming in the morning, and then I can finish all of the welding. Then it's on the aluminium boost hoses. So that's that done. That's the end of day 2. It's been a long day. I'm tired. We'll see you in the morning. Well, I did the manifold for Joe. I just welded all the front cover for the turbo, so that's cooling. So that can all go back on the hot side. It can go back on now. We need to do the water lines. That's something that Joe desperately needs before we go home, so he can plumb the water front to back. So I'm gonna bolt the plates up, then the little bits of tube weld the AMs on, do the water feed. So let's get into that, eh? Boom. Well, that's it. 3 days done and dusted. Didn't quite get exactly everything that we planned to do done in 3 days. I think it was a hard push anyway, and I kind of knew in my head it was going to be a lot of work for 3 days, but I still went balls to the wall. We worked long days. We was working 9 till 11 o'clock at night every day, apart from today, obviously. So 2 days we worked till 11 o'clock at night. But look, I think what we got done was good. I've given Joe another step ahead, so now Joe can get on with what he needs to do, because he was kind of held up with water lines and placement of exhaust, so he kind of knows where I've put stuff. He can now plumb the last bits of the car, ready for wiring. That's enough for me. We'll see you on the next one when we're back here in Northern Ireland working on the Toyota GT86.
Look at my throne of Monster Energy.
Kev, why don't you explain what we've been doing today?
It's got to come out of the turbo and turn.
Did that one go in that end, that one go in that?
That's maybe. Getting tired. Oh yeah.
It's a sad day when I'm telling you how to do fabrication.